what's going on. We about to check out this video exposing the hell out of Destiny. It's supposed to be from someone who knows him, been to his house. They was a part of the Destiny orbit. You know how when big streamers, they have like a group of friends that go around them, and then it creates like a fake ass community sometimes if it's not genuine. If it's not genuine, because people be trying to use people for clout and whatnot. Don't know if that's what she was doing, but damn, is she scorned. She's scorned as hell. All right, let's check this out, because she's going in. Maybe she found this stuff out after Destiny. No, stop associating. Or maybe she stopped associating. Whatever. The video is kind of long too, so we're going to try to get through it. I don't know anything about Brittany. I think her name is Brittany Simon. Besides, she kind of kicked up. I said what I said, nigga. Most people not even going to know what I said. They don't know what that means. But I've seen a few things, In
today's video, we will be discussing the streamer Destiny.
She also is the one that slapped flames out of Destiny on his stream. With consent, though. He allowed it.
Internet communities, especially online ones that do like political debate and video games, are very much like big boys clubs. So it's not enough to just say you can't be misogynistic. Always going to be an othering effect on women.
There's a lot of stuff that you're saying that is a part of misogyny. It's almost like obvious. Like any woman will tell you that.
A woman will, yeah, but they're not in these spaces, and a lot of guys don't know. Yeah.
I think what that requires is just empathy.
If you do not know who he is, it's okay. I will tell you.
No drama, but Brittany talks about you in regards to relationship advice starting here until at least 8 minutes later. Don't get upset. Oh no.
I'm open to criticizing all of my friends for their choices, but then look, Abbott tried to come to Steven and say your hedonistic lifestyle isn't working, and Destiny got not only like offended and defensive, but literally was not open to the conversation. Did not.
Bro, I'll talk about anything all the time ever. Are we serious? No, I just brought up Rolo.
Yeah, you just brought up Rolo. So then the question stands: did you Lauren Southern? Hey, you brought it up.
I feel like I have more conversations about my lifestyle than literally any other person on the internet.
Destiny is a content creator here on YouTube.
I don't know about that. You do be ducking some smoke. I've heard about the Lauren Southern giant. If that is true.
Who has made the rounds as a combative debate bro and somebody who's involved in politics for the Democrats and the liberal side.
I don't think you know what American values are. I don't think you know what this country was founded or built upon. I think you guys are obsessed with a cult leader.
But I need to make an argument today that we need to stop interacting with people that are misogynistic and apologists. Destiny has once again proven that he has not changed and that he's willing to throw women under the bus. He's willing to throw minorities under the bus, and he's willing.
Well, Destiny do the same thing, right? You reap what you sow. Destiny blatantly just tried to tell people, certain YouTubers and Twitch streamers, that he wanted banned. Get this nigga, Destiny is disgusting. Get him out of my face. This is what happens. The energy you put out is energy that's going to come back, bro.
Willing to do whatever it takes to win, even if that means at the expense of everybody else. I am not making any accusations about Destiny, but I am going to tell you what he told me in private and was confirmed later by others, and things he told me in group dynamics. None of the people that were there during those group conversations will be mentioned, but if they would like to come forward to confirm what he told all of us and what we all know to be true based off what he told us, you can do that, but I will not name names, because right now we need to focus on Destiny. One of the things I want to avoid is something that he does often, which is puts the blame on everybody else and away from himself.
Because you kind of like calling out the other orbiters of Destiny, like, and the ones, if this is true, that know all of this, that choose to stay around him, they're just doing it for the clout. But no, that's why I hate making stream friends, bro. Look at the situation with Kasana and I think his name was Bruce Dropoff, right? The whole time someone could be hating, conspiring against you, trying to take your spot, right? That's why I'm just now getting back into streaming, right? I've been taking breaks. I'm inconsistent, but now I'm finally saying, all right, let me do it. But I don't want fakeness, right? I only want like genuine people around me. That's not saying I'm not going to collab. It's just ain't going to happen how people think, right? I would rather collab with people that are smaller creators that's just real, right? That's not trying to thirst for clout. Just been around in general. Like, I don't care if you started your channel yesterday. If you've been a supporter of me, right, and you known to the chat, I might, pull you up on a stream or go on yours, things like that, right? But that whole clout chasing thing that a lot of these streamers do, I don't want no parts. Not saying that's what she doing, but I'm saying if what she's saying is true, and all these people that be orbiting all around Destiny trying to get his clout and his viewership, right? They some nasty people if this is true, because they're doing it just for the clout and the monetization. They're not doing it because it's a genuine friendship. Talking to you, Abba. He's one of the people I'm mainly talking about.
Videos.
So she's doing it.
I don't know. I don't know about that, right?
I think that could be pretty. I think she's a person that likes to see good in people, and I think she does see good in people. And
But
I think it's a good thing.
then how do you come away with these opinions of me? Am I really that retarded that I can't see myself so much?
Introspection is really hard because you would have to face the ugliness within yourself to transform yourself. He's talking to the woman that he cheated on and gaslit, and now they're divorced, about why I think he might not be doing the greatest things to the people around him. And I want to make sure that we are focused on him, since he is in many ways the ringleader.
And the wife was this looks bad. I gotta stop pausing too crazy. But his wife was defending her, his ex-wife, and she left. That's a sign of
a lot of these people. And two, he is responsible for his actions and his actions alone. Since Destiny is involved in politics, and given the way that this election went, I just want to send a note to the Democrats that we do not need an Andrew Tate on the left. So here's what I know. Present tense Destiny, the person who just a few days ago mocked and belittled an assault victim, someone who is a part of his own group, made it clear that he is willing to be a apologist and misogynist like he's always been. Recently, somebody in his community named Kelly Jean, who is an assault victim, came to him because of his paid mod, Forethought.
I'd rather not bring up the details of a assault that relates to me out of preference.
That's fair. I don't think you should either.
I was just checking if he's referring to like a thing that actually happened, right?
Yes.
For those in my audience who are listening and not watching, I'm going to read out the text messages so you understand the context of those messages and why they were so disgusting. Please heed a trigger warning related to assault. These messages are from Forethought to Kelly Jean. Kelly Jean, stop pretending you're hurt by sexism. Your greatest aspiration was being an esports victim. Second message. Kelly Jean, holy no wonder you wish you got You've got literally nothing going on to be doing this at 40.
Is Big Steve there in the background?
Yeah, he's in the background.
Yeah. Hey, Big Steve, you've read these DMs. The question is the $15 a week truly worth it for this man to be running this like it's his own? There is people that will do it that you trust for free. You do not have to give mod back to me or anyone else. There has to be better people that do not say shit like this. There has to.
Yeah, why did you only send this to you because you got banned?
Darius, shut the fuck up and let Destiny speak, you stupid.
Forethought's been running the subreddit for a couple of years. The subreddit has been spam reported, brigaded, attacked by a whole bunch of external communities, and somehow he's managed to keep the subreddit alive. I don't really know anybody else with a record of like moderating a subreddit that I could trust in that position.
Forethought wrote her disgusting messages that I think any reasonable and rational person would find deplorable. When confronted with this by even people in his friend group, including Dan, who's now infamously known for taking down Twitch, Destiny laughed. He belittled Kelly Jean and he made misogynistic jokes. When Kelly Jean came to him, when Dan pressured him, when people in his community asked him why is he letting this pass, he basically said that Forethought was a good moderator of his Reddit and he didn't see the issue because it happened basically, quote, in private.
Forethought thinks he's like somehow winning the battle after doing all this with Kelly.
Do you stand by these logs, Forethought? Hell yeah, 100%. There's no treatment of Kelly Jean that is incorrect.
That means that you've dehumanized me to the point where I am like nothing.
And his whole community is just chilling. Oh shit, this is really a free-for-all.
You do realize that has a knock-on effect to everyone else that reads this shit, right? You can't just like see this in a vacuum and be like, I hate Kelly, therefore saying anything to Kelly is fine, because it does have effects outside.
All the young men in the chat who are maybe getting into their first like relations with women.
Yeah, sorry for the Elliot Rodger of the future that I'm inspiring.
Just a reminder, Elliot Rodger, who he just mentioned, was the infamous incel who gunned down.
Yeah, damn, man, she's not gonna censor nothing. Elliot Rodger, yeah, you say his name, they demonetize the video, right? You can go even further, they'll take it down. There's channels that have had their whole channel taken down because of what was said about Elliot.
Or whatever, if that's your mentality when it comes to her, who's to say that doesn't expand to other people if you're mad at
you'd have to work really hard to get in the Kelly Jean game.
Can we just why is it okay to do whatever you want
to Kelly Jean?
Oh yeah,
you have to ask Destiny that.
I mean, it's Kelly Jean.
That's not that.
Yeah, but if you have that mentality,
that's disgusting. I don't know who this Kelly is, but just because it's her, now it's the regular rules that you have. This is not only your server, but for just humans, you erase now fully just because it happened to her. And I'm petty. But I have a code, bro. Like, I can't just be allowing on everything, especially when it's in my control. It's in my service. Nah, nigga. Like, I've pulled people on voice chat and ripped them to shreds off of someone showing me something. Oh, they said this to me. I'm like, what? Get his bitch ass on. I'm not joking. I'm joking. I'm laughing. But that's serious. I've had that documented and anything. Right? It's just because I don't mess with certain things. I'm trying to censor myself and not curse. I don't mess with certain things, right? And I don't care what it is, right? Even the people I hate, people that are quote unquote enemies, right? To me, I'm indifferent, but I'm not gonna promote it or help it. You know what I mean? Right? Like, if I really truly hate them, they wouldn't be in my damn server. I That's just a fact, right? I wouldn't be like, all right, now you could do whatever to the, whoa. No, I'm not going to promote it, push it, support it. You might get some indifference from me.
Apology, Destiny. Then
if it's not associated with me in any way, shape, or form, and I just heard it from afar. Like say you did and said a lot of disgusting things about me. If I hear that you're living in a cardboard box, hey, what that got to do with me?
He's going to copy it, isn't he?
I think this is a reflection of his character in present tense, and I'm disappointed but not surprised.
Because I've been wanting to talk to you about the anti-misogyny arc for a long time, and I feel like I actually have a lot of thoughts about essentially, like, how do we achieve this on like the internet, particularly in a political space that is like pretty dominantly.
Hold on, I don't know what kind of combo they even trying to have with this thing. Give me a second, and then I'm gonna put the picture back on the screen. Trying to update the title. Right, title's updated. Hit the like button if you can. Share the video if you can. I gotta stop pausing. I'm pausing a lot. I'm gonna slow down with that.
Masculine. I think there's an intention within DGG, from what I can tell, from what you say and what people say, to make women feel comfortable in the space. Is that correct?
There's an intention from me. There's probably an intention from part of my community, but I would say it's probably a minority.
Why are the feminine traits that are already embodied within this space not celebrated and respected as much as when the masculine traits are embodied?
Because I think the thing that is the most attractive to this space, where it excels in the most, is in the combative masculine traits.
Yes. Is there a way to see a appreciation for feminine traits?
Possibly, but that's not what I excel in. So that's never going to be, or at least that's not what I'm like really good in. So that's not going to be what people are going to tune into me for, probably.
Erudite, when you're talking about feminine traits, what do you think the gain would be? What's the measurable difference? If the community was more accepting of feminine traits, what would the benefit to women in the community be? I actually think that most of the issues that I see in DGG are from not like being accepting of feminine traits.
I guess I'm postulating a hypothesis. I suspect that if feminine traits viewed as more respect-worthy and more often, even just like in casual ways of like, I mean, like, awesome, that's great. Like if you go to, I don't want to say your name without upsetting people, but if you go to Brittany Simon's streams, well, there's lots of issues that you might have with it. It is a very feminine community, right? And if you look at the way that the chat comments, it's obviously going to be very different. If we saw feminine traits being respected more, that we would see retention of women potentially increase because they would feel like traits that they probably are more naturally inclined toward is valued in itself.
I don't know if that's valuing feminine traits though, so much as people gathering around somebody that embodies feminine traits. Like I think it follows from the creator.
For the last 2 years, I've been holding on to information that Destiny told me, that people confirmed. And as much as I thought I would never have to say it, apparently he has decided not to change, to double down, and to continue being a misogynist and apologist. And since Destiny is so involved in politics, I want to make it clear this isn't somebody you want as an ally, as he's willing to throw anyone under the bus who gets in his way. The focus of my channel is to harm reduce. And so here I am participating in what I believe is harm reduction. I can only hope that people in the future take my message into consideration before working, participating in Destiny's events, or God forbid dating him, given his track record in abusive women. I've met Destiny once in Miami after a few content.
She trying to get this nigga blackballed, bro. Whoa, that's intense.
Creators and I decided to collab. It was overall a great event.
My guess is in 2 to 3 months, what I said was Lab is going to have a disagreement with Max over something because she is opinionated, even if she's like malleable. And she's going to realize when she has a disagreement, she's going to think she's safe to do it, but there's going to be a disagreement. He's going to not budge at all. She's going to get increasingly angry. She's going to realize, oh, he is a crazy narcissist. And then I don't know if she'll come back to me, if she might be too prideful.
Do you want her to come back?
Not really.
Are you going to accept her?
It would take a lot of apologizing. Okay.
What kind of apologizing?
You don't even care about apologies.
You don't even care about
apologies. The problem is that, like, because the issue is that, like, she's talked an unbelievable amount of shit to me, to strangers in her Discord and DMs.
We're done, right?
That was less personal. I didn't care about
that.
Probably. She would have to come back as like, I did like 12 months at like a Catholic monastery, and now I'm like,
you know what? This is probably where I want to defend that. I don't even care about none of that stuff. I just hate every time she's on stream. So it's like, laugh. I just I don't want to hear her.
If you bring Lab back,
but I think he thinks she's a good guest. So I think
she absolutely is a good guest. If I brought Lab online right now, we'd have 20,000 viewers.
I don't think so. I think if you brought her on right now, you wouldn't get grow by more than 1,000.
If what? If Lab came on right now?
13,000. That's amazing.
It's going to happen. He's going to do it right now.
No,
but during the time that I was there, I was confided in. I was told things about Destiny's life and his ex-wife, his now ex-wife. They confided in me together and separately about their marriage and the issues that they were having. And on top of that, during dinner events with
the first time you met him?
Multiple people, not just his ex-wife and I, but others, he did admit to things I never thought he would admit to. Things related to politics, things related to this job that he claims to love so much. But remember that Destiny isn't somebody with values fighting for the marginalized. He's somebody who wants the credit for winning a battle.
Yeah, but the people that engage in this sometimes the most are the people that also screech and cry that debate isn't worthwhile, which is why there are people in here screaming that I guess that I'm on speed and people screaming that I read Wikipedia.
Brother, you've been the one doing this screaming right here.
Dude, I mean, you're the biggest streamer, so you're going to get a lot of people, especially other streamers, criticizing you for stuff.
I'm saying just within this room right here, within this conversation right here, the past 30 minutes, this has happened in here.
Right. I mean, I can't speak for everybody else. You know, I could say, like, from my standpoint, the issue I have with your content in particular is not even so much the way that you debate or even any of your positions, even though I disagree with a lot of the stuff you say. I feel like the community around it, from my vantage point anyway, is sort of the problem, right? Like, there's this very much this mentality of like this kind of ironically an echo chamber is developed, and it's when you engage with people, it becomes like this, you know, almost like this project to try and own them or present them as a fool, and then everybody in that echo chamber, like, you know, kind of perpetuate
tearing that spaghetti up, son. I'm gonna start eating on stream.
It's that, and it's all about like finding faults and flaws and little mistakes that they make, and then tearing them down and owning them, rather than clarifying the position or deepening anybody's understanding or opening other people up to different ideas.
As I tell this story, I want to make it clear that the Miami event didn't actually occur just in Miami in an isolated event. There were also events leading up to it in which Destiny would tell me things. His wife, ex-wife, his now ex-wife, would tell me things, and this helped me build my understanding of Destiny as a character. His flaws, his beliefs, his values, and the things that he would say to me did over time change the way that I saw him. I had initially reached out to him because a fan suggested that I collab with him, and I did not do my research to know who he was before engaging.
Hey, Steven, my name is Brittany Simon, a YouTuber who lives on the introspection philosophy side of YouTube. Whatever, nigga. When was this? 2022? I had an audience member introduce me to your content. I don't know why. What is this supposed to prove, per se? And that's how you collab with Destiny? You just send that nigga an email? I'm about to... Nah. Like, listen, you a punk. You soft. I'm about to fix your life. Come on, man. Get on call. You know, I'm about to fix your life. I'm about to do for you what Hunter Avalon should have let me do. Give that nigga some real advice. I would have saved him from his wife leaving. I could have saved you from... No, never mind. Never mind, they already left.
Engaging. When Destiny and I eventually went our own separate ways, there was something that he was kind of infamous for saying, and something that I never could allude to until now. He would often say, how can Brittany see me so much differently than I see myself? And it's because when these men or women or they thems, when anyone tells you a story about their life and who they are, they always make themselves the good guy. Except they forget that when they tell people their life story, the details of their beliefs and their motivations for the way that they treat and manipulate people, I'm taking note, as are you. So I did take note, and my opinions of him did change over time. He could never fathom that it was because of things he had personally.
I just start pausing more when I talk. I was going What I was trying to say was, I don't do that. I am YouTube's first supervillain. That's a fact. That's a fact.
He told me. Instead,
supervillain is different from villain.
He usually on stream would go into rants about conspiracy theories of all the reasons why I must be anti-Destiny. Maybe I'm colluding with anti-Destiny communities. Maybe I'm traumatized. Maybe it's my mental health. Or maybe it was just the things that he told me. Though it was very clear on who Destiny was as a person.
There's an anti-Destiny community, then?
And I really should believe people when they tell me who they are. It was hard to imagine that this person who was so passionate and articulate and seemed to fight for good things was behind closed doors and maybe even honestly on stream a pretty awful person whose behavior was often ignored because honestly he won debates. That's really the thing that's at play.
That's why I don't run around collabing with anybody just because someone said it in a comment section. Right? Or a member of my... Nah, nigga. I got to know if they're genuine.
Play here is Destiny gets away with a lot of his behavior because he's really good at winning, which sort of reminds me of this recent election. How could the American people vote for a liar and a racist? Because he wins elections. And something about that really makes people want to cheer for you. Everybody wants to be on the side of a winner, regardless of how abusive.
Yeah, she cold-blooded. Definitely would disagree with her on a lot of things. You know, whoa. You taking shots at Trump is crazy.
Misogynistic apologists they are.
Can't have a conversation with somebody who wants to win. He's smart and manipulating people that follows him. But he's not a smart guy. He's actually an idiot.
He's a contrarian by nature. That's like what he does is like debate and argue. I get along with him. We have a respectful. He's in Miami. We have a respectful relationship. We disagree on everything though, but it's crazy.
Pause. I hate saying this. I hate this. I was talking to somebody else. I was talking to somebody else. In all of my years, God, this feels so shitty. In all my years doing content, I have more respect for him than any other individual.
Oh, fresh and fraud. Yo, Prince is like a.
So now she attacking him or not attacking, but now she's going for him. Well, who he's friends with is crazy. Right? That's a little extra now. Especially if you're using jokes that Myron said.
Momentum, what the
He is the only person that I've seen that will consistently go into areas where there's so much like laughing and jokes and fun times we had right here if he was shit on me, but he doesn't. He won't do it.
He's like a monkey. Preacher's over there looking like McGilligrill and Donkey Kong having a baby.
He's the only person I think I've known in like my entire professional career who has like a large like independent career that's not like they wouldn't do it. Now I'm implicating other people. Like I don't think Abba would do it, but Abba's not like in space where people are shooting me so hard.
Clipping up this one moment.
Him calling you contrarian is correct. When he calls me contrarian, he just means I like to argue a lot, which is true I do, but he doesn't mean it in like the super malicious way. But yeah, I give him a huge credit for that.
You say you're not anti-Semitic. So here's the clip this is the one that he erased from the other day, and then you can tell me if this is anti-Semitic or not. You're sitting with Nick Fuentes, by the way, no neo-Nazi.
Whoa. We ain't getting into all of that. Y'all ain't gonna get me 86 out here in these streets.
Was the only lifeline that he had to like being able to breach like mainstream political conversations. Like I represented a huge potential opportunity to him, and he just was so bad faith in the way that he treats me. It's unbelievable.
Hey, we control your bodies. Guess what? Guys win again, okay? Men win again. And yes, we control your bodies. It's your body.
Yeah, this nigga is just joking, bro. Like, I'm not like even gonna super defend him, but that's his style of comedy, is him saying outrageous stuff, right? Not really for me. You need to bring me some more comedic talents when I watch things. But again, he's just saying an extreme version or whatever, and I don't think you should take him serious in any way, shape, or form. Especially all these black channels that's saying worse. There's black channels and content creators that are saying way worse, right? And I'm for freedom, right? Plus, I know that none of this is like dead ass serious. Right? This is a character that nigga playing. But I ain't defending him. Feel however you want to feel about him.
My choice.
He should have been so conciliatory towards me. I'm not looking for. I'm not asking him to be bitch or anything. But for him to be like relentlessly bad faith against me all the time, I'm like, bro, who the f are you? I can put you on a stream in front of 14,000 people. Like I'm giving you your phone number to like Adam22 so you can go to a show. Why the f would you like burn my shit so hard? Like you're so.
I have more respect for him than any other individual.
So now I'm going to explain exactly what I know about Destiny that made me change the way that I saw him. First and foremost, there was an affair, and this affair was messy. When he confided in me about the affair, when his ex-wife confided in me about the affair, when his mutual friends and I discussed it, it was something that was complicated and gray and messy and involved children, a married person, somebody with a reputation on the internet that, well, was pretty bad. It also was the last person I thought it would be, given that Destiny claimed to be such a liberal and a progressive at some points in his life. So for him to have an affair with somebody who was, quote, on enemy sides felt odd, strange, and morally bankrupt.
Enemy sides is crazy. So anyone who's on the right is your enemy, Mom? Damn. That's intense. Enemies, though? Whoa. Okay. Who is it? Is it Lauren Southern? Because I remember he was denying that.
In some ways. This is how the story goes, according to what I was told by his ex-wife and him. There was an affair, a long-time affair with a fellow content creator named Lauren Southern.
This stream is hilarious. Well, I'm glad I had a bunch of people earlier. They're like, I am unsubbing. This is disgusting that you're in the presence of a libtard. I'm glad someone's enjoying it.
Wow. Is that Destiny?
No, you should.
I did remember them collabing. I did remember
talk
that.
to him. He's obsessed with Donald Trump, and it's disgusting. You really need to talk to him.
No, we're just.
What was that saying?
It says "Make America Great Again." Okay.
Oh, just the whole point. No, he genuinely is like a hardcore Trump supporter. He just said the election was 2 years ago.
Yeah, it was 2 years ago. Okay, and I'm still upset about it. I have a right to be upset. Okay.
Lauren Southern, if you don't know, is quite controversial. She's sort of infamous for shooting flare guns up in the air around migrant boats.
If the politicians won't stop the boats, then we'll stop them.
Oh, that's great. I did not know. That's crazy. Damn, that's a little intense.
Boats.
Lauren is also somebody who's been in the conservative circles out of Canada and is considered a trad wife. So recently she did go through a divorce that allegedly had abuse involved, and there is a child.
Fight. In fact, one of the creators that received these emails was Destiny. I think you interviewed him recently, and instead of his email that he got was, you should confront Lauren during one of your live stream debates and drop on her that she's actually a divorced single mother who failed in her marriage and who stole her child and was cheating on her husband. And he reached out to me and was like, this is really like unhinged behavior. Are you okay? How can I can you take this to court? Is there anything you can do about this? And that's how I kind of started to find out about the emails.
During this time and during this divorce, somewhere along that timeline, there was an affair. And this affair got messy. One, because Destiny's now ex-wife didn't know it was happening. And even though they claimed to be in an open relationship, there was a lot of lying and deception.
So, people could be in an open relationship where you would think there would be no issues or no cheating, especially due to the fact that it's an open relationship. But no, you got to disrespect your partner. Right? If there's one person that your partner does not want you to get with, don't get with them. Right? Younger people got to understand what an open relationship is.
That occurred. According to them, he had kept the affair secret and kept telling her that nothing was going on. Every time she inquired, hey, you seem odd. Are you okay? Something seems off. He would say, you're crazy. Everything's fine. Everything's great. I'm normal. You're the one who's not normal. There was gaslighting involved. There was lying and deception. All of this time, he was sleeping with Lauren Southern, meeting up with her, collabing with her.
That is happening. That is gaslighting.
And planning to leave his now ex-wife for her. This isn't just a simple, I cheated. This was a deliberate affair that happened, and over a course of time, he deceived and lied to his now ex-wife. And honestly, if it didn't go the way it did, he would have been with Lauren Southern now. But Lauren had a change of heart and decided to dump Destiny for somebody else. He came back crying to his now ex-wife and begged her to take him back, claiming his mental health was impaired.
Funny.
That's also what he told me. He told me that my mental health was insane. You don't understand, Brittany. I was so distraught. I was so mentally ill. I don't know. I was insane. You don't understand. And we believed him. We somehow tried our best to meet him where he was. And though we called him out and said this was unethical, he also claimed he was suffering. And all of us believe in redemption and restorative justice in a sense, at least I do. So I thought, okay, maybe he just needs therapy. So that time that I was in Miami, Destiny was busy on his phone because he was being canceled by another group of content creators for abusive women. And he sat there at a restaurant with me and his now ex-wife and openly admitted that in order to win this war against these content creators, he would manipulate a woman who was honestly so abused by his community, who has her own problems, but also didn't deserve any of the backlash or misogynistic bullying harassment that occurred because of Destiny's interactions with this woman. But he picked her, used her, manipulated her, admitted to us at dinner that he was doing it, and said, this is the only way to win the war. I had to convince her to be on my side. And I looked at him and I said,
if they talk about Lauren Southern, that's crazy. If that's what they talking about, nigga, that's nuts.
This is unethical. This is unethical to manipulate this woman. This is unethical to, quote, win this war. This is unethical. And his ex-wife looked at me and said, and this is the man I married. And though he looked ashamed, he did not slow down.
Yeah.
Well, no, where it would be so big that I won't even go on shows or I won't have people that are like platforming them. I don't know if I've ever done that before.
No, you've only done it with Anna.
You remember the girl I told you about that Destiny was manipulating behind the scenes and we told him it was unethical? Yeah, he's talking about a girl named Anna, the girl he's talking about right now in this conversation. Pay close attention to the way that he talks about Anna being manipulated by others. And if you can, look at my facial expression while he's talking, because in my head, I know that he's manipulating her behind the scenes, as I'm sure others are as well.
That's nasty. See, you just as nasty if that's the case. You was well aware of this whole thing. He told you about it while you was at dinner with him and his wife or whatever. Yeah. And you just now telling people? But
in that moment, I had no idea what to do except push back in ways that I thought were subtle but clear. And of course, what I learned was you can't subtly push with people like Destiny.
Why are you going the extra step?
Because Max, I think, is genuinely like an evil, harmful, abusive person that I don't want to be involved in blowing up anybody around him. I don't want people to think that it's like cool to like platform that and give him like a bigger opportunity to manipulate and abuse people. And because Lav is like his witting or unwitting tool right now to like recruit people in and abuse people. Like Lav was the person that got Anna, first of all, like wired the up, especially now that I've seen a lot of DMs between her and Anna. I see that like she wired the
I go in front. That's the I know something you don't.
I've seen a lot of DMs between her and Anna. I see that like
I know something you don't. Thinking of what to say.
Like she wired the ran the out of Anna and then she connected her to Max.
Okay.
So
wait, when Max said, you remember when he pulled me into a call with Max and I was like, I had like my hair tied back and I was like, it was like 8 o'clock at night, it was like a surprise. And you were trying to explain to me like who Max was and you were like, you know, and it kind of like in that moment, I looked like an idiot, to be honest. Cause I was like, did I blow this out of proportion? Do you think in that moment you understood who Max was? And
so this is how people work, okay?
My criticism.
Yeah, no, but you also believe the main criticism that you believe are also like Erudite and other people, where you're like, oh, I think that Steven is like deeply unhappy. Brittany finally saw me off stream, and Brittany finally knows now. I think where she's like, you trust that I'm not like miserable or horrible about all the shit going on. Like,
no, you're a masochist.
Thank
you
you.
love to be beaten up, and you love crying women and men, and you hope that they always come to you and on you and all those.
Based. Thank you.
Hey, do you know what you just did there?
What?
Give me criticism. I was like, oh, you heard what I said. Because I care about you. And then you were like, oh, but you also said this other thing. I'm like, I didn't say it. We're talking about this one thing, right?
You want me to give you props when you're criticizing me?
No, you were criticizing me. No,
you were talking about your criticisms of me.
No, you were saying like, I can take this.
Oh, yeah, I can take some criticisms,
like, yeah.
But the main thing that you and Erudite, the last time you guys were here, you were screaming at me.
But we're not talking about that. We're talking about this specific thing. But you're going to bring up something else to shit on me.
No, I'm not bringing up the shit on you because that's your main criticism. The post in my subreddit and the things people say, and the message you sent me even earlier was about like, let's get therapy. We need to save you.
At this moment, she knew she was leaving.
That's what I'm saying.
I think he has a gripe with like
erudite criticism, and then I think maybe yours similarly, where he feels like you guys are concerned about the idea that he may not be happy on the inside when it comes to certain relationships.
I understand.
It's the same advice. It's the same advice that you were probably giving his heart, but I think he feels like it's just coming.
No, the advice right now, I think he's super happy because he's having everything. But I think if he keeps going in a certain direction, he might lose the things that actually makes him happy. That's
like Melina and Dan, we're gone. We're out of here.
Because he's actually legit.
And then Brittany does the sign like, nigga, you about to lose your woman. And then he lost his woman.
Scared of things that he does sometimes. And for me, it's a lot for me to deal with, like being with him. And when he increases like the crazy,
you mean like when he's getting like Twitter dramas or like Twitter, but like actual like people like making these allegations? Like,
yeah, of course it affects me too. Okay. Yes, and no one really ever talks about that, but it does. It does affect me. Yeah. So I'm telling him.
That's actually a good point because even though you're resilient, people that care about you probably are actually more.
That's why you have to be Batman. When I do drama, I need to put on a mask.
Yeah, you would need to. But do you ever take that into consideration?
A little bit, but usually all is good.
And I actually don't care that your fans get upset because at the end of the day, that's a right to. But the people you choose to have in your life, like me, you're a grown man. If you want up some stuff, go pick it up. But for someone who's actually dating you or maybe even family members, like I don't know if that's actually the situation. I can see how that would be a terrifying thing for them.
Yeah, but the goal is to surround myself with people that are really resilient. And if people don't have a certain level of resiliency, they probably can't get like to a certain closeness of me. Like resiliency is like one of the primary things I choose for when it comes to like close friends and shit, I think.
Sure. But I would say that like even me and Dan putting up with the things that we're putting up with is still pretty like far out there compared to most people. You've had us for a long time too. You can't just find someone that you just have history.
I gotta pause it when I talk. I get what you're saying, but nigga, that's crazy. You know, that's a little intense. That's an intense way to answer why you treating people so way.
So like you have to like balance that out or figure that out. That's why I'm saying.
Do you acknowledge that? Like there is a certain level.
I acknowledge it, but when she says that, she's not really saying that. What she's saying is you're too crazy. You need to pull it back because I'm not comfortable with it. That's what she's saying.
But that's exactly what I'm understanding. Which is like to a degree, somewhat.
Well, sure, but
because she's saying like we've already met a pretty solid threshold for resilience, which I would argue. Yeah, my significant other was involved in a lot of stuff that you're talking about. I'm very resilient. I would still feel like that's a lot, and you probably should pull it back because I'm like that is a lot. And so you don't think that's valid at all?
It's valid.
Because how many people you gonna meet that can handle that much? Because I don't think I can meet.
The problem is that like it's not.
Go ahead.
Well, it's not for me to say this, but like I can live my life in a lot of different ways, right? I can be a single person and be okay. Like I can do a whole bunch of different things.
Tell me on stream you really want someone to
I do. It'd be nice, but like that. Like there are a lot of things that would be nice, but it doesn't mean I'm willing to make a whole bunch of sacrifices. Like when you say you really want a person that like can be like blah blah blah. Yeah, that's definitely true, but I don't want to sacrifice a whole bunch of shit to get that. Like I would much rather be like.
You don't really love them.
Yeah, that's the thing.
So let me ask you. You don't think it's reasonable?
You have to. It should be some compromise, but damn it, right?
Compromise to say, listen, I'm not mad at like, a lot of stuff that you do, but maybe there's more unhinged types of people.
The fact that Abbott just he just agreed with me is crazy. I don't like that. Let me hear it one more time just to make sure.
I don't want to sacrifice a whole bunch of shit to get that. Like I would much rather be like, yeah, that's the thing.
So let me ask you, you don't think it's a reasonable compromise to say, listen, I'm not mad at like a lot of stuff that you do, but maybe there's more unhinged types of people.
When you say reasonable compromise, you make it sound like there's like a set, like it can be totally reasonable for somebody to say, I want to eat shit every single morning. No. I want to have shit. Yeah, if somebody wants to.
I legitimately think Mr. Gross like an unhinged person who like would go on like
potentially.
Okay. When you invite somebody like that in your life,
yeah,
that would probably put a mental strain on a lot of people around you. For sure. For people to be like, yo, I would prefer if you weren't like bringing these people into all of our orbits. I think that's a reasonable thing. Like this dude, like
I hate that I'm agreeing with Apple and Night that he's agreeing with me. Yeah, man. Like that's why I don't like to show my loved ones on here. I don't like to do it. I like to keep things separate, man. Right, from streaming or content creation in my personal life, I keep it separate. Right, not even for things I can't handle. I can handle everything, especially now. Right, but I don't want people that I care about to have to go through that. Right, so even me associate myself with somebody that's crazy or negative, right, in general, yeah, they would worry about me, right, and I don't even want to put them through that. So yeah,
serial killer vibes. Like I'm not drunk when I say like I can see him rolling up here and like murking everybody. I really think that. Yeah. And so stay away from crazy people who might eat their girlfriend.
That's just saying. So here's my question, just so I'm not projecting. Are you saying you would rather have Max and Lav in your life than Melina?
Whoa, Jesus, you make it direct like that, but yes.
Yes, he's saying that.
But not like, wait, let me clarify that. Hold on, because you're talking about marriage. It's not Max and Lav.
Wow, this nigga said yes.
It's the ability to have like those types of like insane interactions.
Okay, so you would rather have Max and Lav alikes
yes.
than Melina?
Or than any partner that wouldn't be okay with that.
You'd rather have a Howard Stern life. Even he changed up. But you'd rather have old school Howard Stern, Jerry Springer 24/7 just for clout, right? If he's so good, nigga, you don't need whatever people that they're claiming are crazy. I cut crazy people off quick. Right? Sure, it'll probably be an entertaining show, but there's certain things I don't want to deal with. I don't want people around me to deal with. I've had too much happen to me on here, right? For me to even allow people in my circle.
Okay, so
you gotta have a right mind.
Would you say you'd want to be able to keep these people in your life, but not maybe so close to them, or not keep them as
like
friends?
if it turned it down to 80%, still one.
Yeah, so like actually having interaction with them on stream, but not bring them so close into your life where they're involved with your family and stuff like that.
Maybe.
But after I realized he thought he was too smart for therapy, and it was clear that he was going to allow women to be thrown under the bus at every.
What the F all that? This nigga just chose internet clout over his family. You would, oh my gosh.
Turn, I realized this man was never going to say it out loud. He was never going to say out loud that he had a long-term affair with Lauren Southern, that he lied to his wife, that he blamed her for the need to have the affair. Because when it came out and everybody saw they were getting a divorce, he never corrected the narrative. The narrative is that they were getting a divorce because she had cheated and left him for someone else, not taking into consideration everything that came before that, not taking it.
Yeah, for Ezra Miller 2.0. So he could have came out. Yo, yeah, this nigga is nasty. He could have came out like, no, guys, just because I cheated. At least, right? But even tell him who you cheated with.
Into consideration the way that he lies and deceives, not taking into consideration that the time that I was in Miami, while he was busy on his phone arguing with Reddit comments, trying to stop a cancellation from happening, she was crying to me about ways to save her marriage. She spent that whole time in Miami asking me,
why did they feel that damn comfortable? Yo, what is it about Brittany? They felt a little too damn comfortable.
Can I save this? Can I help him? You don't know his good side. You don't know his vulnerable side. He's a good person. How do I help him?
Hey, only to find out. Watching me live, which you can join by hitting the link. And if you're watching a re-upload, go check the link in the description so you can see my live channel. I decided to start going live again. But, hey, I'm so thrown off about it. Yes, if you can hear me, right, and you still rocking with me, let me see FANG if you're able to type it in the chat. If you're watching a replay, put it in the comment section. Bang gang.
That this good person that you were advocating for, that you were deceived by, went and threw you under the bus the moment he could. And every time I asked him to get off his phone so he could have a conversation with us, he'd say, I would, but my wife gets jealous if I get more attention than her. I would, but my wife is emotional and unstable. I would, but my wife. At no moment did he take any accountability for the way that he was acting as a bad friend, the way he was socially interacting inappropriately, the way he was manipulating these women, and said it was always his ex-wife, his ex-wife, his ex-wife, his ex-wife. And listen, that should have been my cue to leave. I should have gone back on a plane.
This nigga is grimy. Yes, I definitely think Destiny is a nasty, nasty man. 100%. This was out of pocket, right? Like he didn't have to do it. Yeah, the way he ended this was like someone who isn't very masculine, who doesn't really move like a man. That's the way he handled all the things that she described him. Even though I think that her knowing this the whole time is kind of like strange, and then wanting to expose it now, that's a little weird. But whatever. Main focus is Destiny. I think this nigga is a loser, and he's just weak. He is weak as hell, right? No accountability, no responsibility, right? Yeah, you don't do that to the people that you care about. Especially if you got an open relationship. Nigga, what? What are you doing?
And gone home. But I didn't. And I can tell you that that is a mistake in a lot of ways. But it's what I did. Because I, like many of you, we want to do emotional labor for those who won't do it. And so moving into 2025, let's stop that generational cycle. Let's end that generational curse of doing emotional labor for people who aren't going to do it themselves. I've waited 2 years for Destiny to figure it out, to go to therapy and to...
Yeah, nigga, nah. That's not on me. No, I never was doing that. F out there, right? Nah.
Realize he is the problem, and he hasn't done it. And I am sick of seeing women bear the brunt of this man's abuse. And even though Kelly Jean, who is infamous in the community for mocking me, saying that my illness isn't real, and has been cruel to so many people, even Kelly Jean doesn't deserve this abuse. Because 2 wrongs don't make a right, except that Destiny believes it does. And I just want to make sure that we understand that about his character.
So as heavily requested, let's talk about this Destiny, Piers Morgan, Donald Trump situation. And Destiny, if you don't know, is a controversial political commentator and streamer.
This nigga been doing content forever, I swear.
Getting a lot of heat for his comments following the Trump assassination attempt. With a lot of the stuff he has said in the aftermath.
But damn, good kudos to you. Keep it up. Do your thing. Whatever. I don't even know what political things. Yeah, I don't care. Just as long as you ain't nasty like Destiny, keep doing your thing.
Both on stream and on Twitter, pissing off a lot of people. For this, including comments that he made about the firefighter who was killed during the shooting at the Trump rally.
Get the dude, the firefighter guy. Trump, the people that support him. If one of you were in the crowd, and you're a conservative fan of mine, and you end up, getting blown away, whatever I'm making fun of you the next day on Twitter.
He's made points similar to that a handful of times, also tweeting about the situation seemingly nonstop since Saturday, with some of the posts gaining the most traction, saying things like, a person in a crowd cheering for and supporting a traitor to this country caught astray. I'm so sad, please. I'm sure Corey and Babbitt are both having fun with each other in hell right now, as well as Donald Trump incited an insurrection and then was granted full criminal immunity for possibly all of his involvement. I have zero sympathy for anything that happens to him or anyone who supports him.
Please note that none of the anger directed at Trump has anything to do with the women he's assaulted. Moving forward, while I was there in Miami, once again, as he was throwing his wife under the bus, throwing everybody under the bus. You don't understand, Brittany. You don't understand. I was losing my mind. So he was allowed to use his mental health as an excuse for his bad behavior. But anytime women in his community are triggered, have moments of vulnerability, they're weak. They're girls. They're cluster Bs. Look, if you want to keep your life private, that's good. But you can't go around pretending you've done right by the people in your life.
My life is so much more public than anybody on the internet. I think there's 2 things about my life that people don't know about over the past 15 years.
And I'm not saying Steven is a bad person. Like I said, I think the majority of the world is good. Okay. But I don't see Steven actually owning the fact that he's bad at relationships when he's giving relationship advice. He gives relationship advice, but he's not great at relationships.
Dude, I can't.
You really think it's a troll?
You're the evil devil, okay? Don't be here. You're going to make me stop. You're the bad one, okay? That's going to make me think bad thoughts. Okay, I'm staying...
No, I'm absolutely the angel on the shoulder. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, I don't think she's trolling, but I don't know. She has such a wild impression of me that is so far from reality. Even the examples that she gave were so wrong. She literally gave the example. Sneeko's open about his cheating. First of all, cheating to these guys is Giga Chad. They think that's cool. He literally talks about how I can't even say anything because I don't even know how much he's public with. I can't even say what I want to fucking say. I am so open with everything. I said I've cheated on Aaron 20 times. I've always said this.
You about to expose Sneeko to save yourself? Yeah, you'd throw anybody under the bus.
I don't lie any of this about my life. I can't lie anything about my life. My whole life is public. How the can you possibly say this kid is more open than me? He says he's Islamic. He doesn't know he's not open to...
Breathe.
He's crazy.
Okay. I see it. Obviously.
This nigga might need therapy for sure. This nigga, they gotta tell him to breathe online. You want to expose anybody else's business.
Brittany could have a bias with you because she knows about cheating, but then that wouldn't explain why she doesn't have a bias towards Sneeko. Correct? That's what's frustrating right now, right?
I don't know how she can say he's open-minded.
The first is, do you I know you talk to a lot of people, and you seem actually quite open-minded to me.
He is open-minded. That is who Sneeko is. I want to know if Dr. K thinks Steven's open-minded.
How is he the open-minded one? I don't understand. There's no way. I don't know if she's still is she upset from the conversation and it's just carried over into everything now?
So remember,
he's taking this way too serious, bro.
This man who argues that women and cluster Bs weaponize their mental illness to get away with bad behavior, he is the one who is doing this action. Moving forward in the conversations that occurred, there was a group event, and he admitted to something that I never thought he would admit to. Something that directly impacts his political, I think, desires to be accepted by the DNC and by maybe normalized political groups. The way he goes after other streamers for being too extreme. Remember, this man isn't a liberal because his values are liberal. He's a liberal because he wants to win and he thinks it makes sense to be on that side to win for whatever reason. I'm not sure. You'd have to ask him. But the same man that says he worked so hard, the same man that is upset that the DNC and other people won't embrace him the way they embrace others, the same man that complains that for some reason people don't want to be around him, forgets to look at his own actions as maybe the reasons why. And so there at the restaurant in front of other people, for whatever reason, he felt comfortable telling us that he was committing voter fraud. I was shocked. To be honest with you, I didn't think he would ever say that out loud. I think it's a pretty big deal given his reputation online as somebody who wants to be in politics. And again, I'm not making the accusation. I am telling you what he told us. I'm telling you what came out of his mouth. He's a registered voter in Nebraska. He votes in Nebraska, even though he's in Miami and should have registered to vote there. But he thinks it's better for the Democrats that he votes in Nebraska, as Nebraska is conservative. Again, willing to win at any cost, even if it means cheating. This is destiny. This is his character. And I think it speaks volumes. I should have left right there, then got on a plane and left. But given the circumstance and considering he wasn't the only one I went to Miami to see, I stayed. I collabed and then I left. My idea of destiny changed in my head forever. Because the more I learned about him, the more I realized this is just not a good person, but in a philosophical sense, which is what my channel is based around. All of us are struggling. And if Destiny could face himself and get the therapy he needed, he might just be one of the greatest people. But for now, he's not. He is the Sneekos. He is the Andrew Tates. He's exactly the problem with masculinity and men in these bubbles who claim they care about women, but every move they make is at the expense of those women. Every move Destiny makes is at the expense of any—
Damn, so the only thing is just defending women. I think Destiny's pretty disgusting to men too.
Anyone who gets in his way. Now, I understand the people in his life see the real—
Smoke break. Oh, yeah.
feel good in him. And I think you see it too. There's a charisma about Destiny, same with Trump and Andrew Tate and all these people. There's something about them that feels so authentic, but it is a show. I don't think this video will change a lot of hearts, but I do think the right people will hear it. You might feel comforted because the way the internet has gaslit us into thinking that Destiny is just a victim, that everyone just hates him for no reason, without considering the fact that he has ruined, impacted, and honestly hurt so many people and their lives. It can't be ignored anymore, especially moving into 2025. We need to stop doing emotional labor for people who won't do it themselves.
Do you really think they'll move on? They've been stalking you for years at this point? No, because, well, for Destiny, he won't move on because he'll never give up. Like, his anger and resentment will carry on for the rest of his life. Like, he'll only stop, I suspect, if I stopped streaming. But for people in his community, they'll probably get bored. They'll consider it to be stale, and they'll move on to the other thing. But he makes a lot of money off of this. So the more I grow, the more my haters grow, and the more my haters grow, the more he can make money off of.
Chris, I had a, I ain't even gonna say it. I had one of those the other day. Blasted.
So I don't think he's going to, I don't think he's going to stop. But it's all good. That's neither here nor there. I'm a happy man. I rest easy at night knowing that I'm doing right by others. You know what I mean? You just gotta do what you believe in,
I know in the past I've collabed with lots of not great people, and I have privated those videos because as much as I wanted to meet these people where they weren't willing to do the work, whether they were Sneeko, Lauren Southern, or Destiny. So when the Democrats say, do we need an Andrew Tate on our side? No, we do not. We do not need a Trump. We do not need any of these men who are
deleting a bunch of videos with conversations you had with people because they didn't change to who you want them to be is kind of crazy. Kind of crazy. Yeah, yo, fam, I was blasted until like the next morning.
are willing to win at any cost. We need good people with good values who want to move the country forward. One of the things that stands out to me about Destiny is he believes he's not abusive as long as he doesn't hit women. That's why when Steven Crowder's videos came out of him abusing his wife.
If you refuse to do wifely things, then I will go pick up the groceries. So how do you respond to that? Yes, I don't know.
The video is looking crazy.
Okay, Steven, I can't. Feeling some constraint?
Yeah, I'm not a Crowder, I should say, defender when it comes to this. I kind of feel like he could have handled this way better, for sure.
Like, I can't go. Listen to me. Listen to me. You want to walk out right now? Listen to me. I can't go to the gym. I can't go to my parents. I can't call my friends.
Evil. He just could have handled this better.
I can't go. I can't be home. You're going to take the car and leave me here. Hillary, just think of how boxing you've made me.
What do you need me to pick up? I'll get it. I'll be back when you're back.
No, that doesn't work either. You'll be back when you're back. That doesn't work either. I understand the difference between
stressing her out for stuff that, nigga, you rich. Spend a little bit of money. Get another car, nigga. Get an Uber. There's so many things wrong with this. So many things. And you stressing out. She's pregnant, bro. And you stressing out. Like, come on, man. Let her do her thing. You see this backyard, this nice ass, but he could get another car. Well, how about this? How about you take her to wherever she gotta go, and then you drive wherever you like. It's just so many things wrong with this, right? And I'm not like a Steven Crowder hater, but damn, this was kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy. You could have handled that way better.
I don't love you. That's the big problem. I've never received love from you, and the fact is, when I don't look, I need
I don't love you.
No, but I love you more than love yourself. Okay, put on some gloves. No, but I love you more than love yourself. That's not fair. It's not fair, and it's disingenuous. Hillary, you're right. Right in best. Become someone that's unique, day in and day out, worthy of a wife. Worthy, no matter the wife. I didn't say the wife. Hillary, come on now.
I'm not going to engage. I'm not going to engage.
I hate judging. I hate evaluating like fights from like, or I hate evaluating relationships from single fights. Honestly, I just don't have enough information to make any statement about this. It could be the case, for instance, that I mean, obviously, you should never fuck you up to a partner.
Nigga, just distance is cool when you're in a relationship, bro. It's fine. If you feeling type of way, she need her space. It's okay to give her space, bro. Right? This nigga was trying to force her to love him, right? And then also telling her at the same time, "I don't love you." Nigga, that's crazy. That's kind of nuts.
Like for this particular clip, it could be the case that it could be that he's like trying to keep her from going anywhere. He's trying to lock her in the house, etc. Like that, those could all be things for sure. It could also be the case that she's like an ultra super lazy that does nothing around the house ever, and he's getting tired of it. I mean, like we can sit here and jerk off about how evil and horrible somebody is, but like I hate trying to evaluate like relationship status from a fight. He's acting like a child. You don't know that. You have no idea though. You don't know. Like
she's pregnant and he's rich. What are you talking about? What, nigga? What are you talking?
Like, what if it is, theoretically, it could be the case. It could be the case that he just got home and is chilling after recording like a second or third episode from the day and found out that like everything in the house is in disarray. And maybe they've got a maid and she's got like 2 responsibilities and she hasn't even done that. It could be the case, right? It could also be the case that he's just like walking around the house and he's lazy, does nothing. He thinks that since she has a job, he can boss her around all day to do whatever he wants. That could be the case too. But we just...
Yeah, nigga, you still could calmly talk to your wife. The conversation could wait. There's a whole bunch of things. Yeah, he could have handled that better.
Don't know. We don't have any. We have no context. The reality is that I'll tell you this. This is just like a life fact. I don't know how else to tell you other than you'll learn when you get older. You cannot judge a relationship based on a 3 or 4 minute fight. If you think you can, it's because you're retarded. Full stop. That's it. You just can't. You can't.
Nigga, wrong is wrong. Like, I ain't saying a nigga is evil or nigga. He could have handled that better. That was a poor way to handle that conversation. Like, even if I gotta admit, if I was to have, I would never, right? But I admit if I'm wrong or if I could handle something better, I would never have been talking to no one like that. But, right? Like, there's nothing wrong with admitting, hey, could have handled that better. The Destiny to be saying this and going, that does almost indicate, and I hate to sound like one of these woke feminists, but it almost indicates that this is how he was talking to his wife behind the scenes. That nigga might have went straight up, I am Alex. Is that the nigga name? Probably. Whatever.
You have no idea. There are so many types of fights where once you get more information, you're like, oh shit, okay, I understand this. Or wow, fucking crazy. Like, oh, okay, this makes sense why this person, like, you can never, ever on like a 2, 3, 4 minute thing just evaluate on shit like this. Like, you can't do it. So as long as we don't see someone beating his wife, we can't make any judgments. Yep, that's what I said. See you later, forever. Never, ever on ban.
Steven wasn't sure what the issue was exactly. Lots of dysfunctional, abusive couples are this way. And Destiny normalizes that behavior constantly because he knows that is him.
Maybe sometimes like a level below you. You know what I mean? I just want to be treated as equal. I think you're treated like equal means treating like equal.
And even if she has a viable complaint about him not pulling his weight, not doing chores, not showing initiative, right? That she has to tell him to take the garbage out, or tell him to clean the dishes or something. That's okay. You can have that. She can have that complaint from here to Sunday. Is that an idea? But that does not justify what she just said. Under no circumstances is it okay to treat a spouse like they are below you. Under no circumstances. Yeah. So, and then at the reunion, she's still saying I'm blunt, I need to watch the tone of voice. But everything I'm saying is accurate and okay. But I just need to be kinder.
I'm blunt. No, you don't talk to people like that. Nah. Man, like, even if I'm joking, that's been something that I had to work on when I was younger. Is sometimes I joke and people don't realize I'm joking or it's taken the wrong way. And I'm not talking about like whack ass losers that's just over emotional. No, people I care about. Sometimes you might say something that's too harsh, right? And your tone didn't match the energy that you meant to project, right? It's okay to evaluate yourself and especially when they're telling you about it, not say something even more disgusting. Now, once again, I ain't talking about these woke bitches that sit and cry because you hurt feelings. No, nigga, I'm not talking about that. No. It's different.
When I'm delivering it? No.
He is similar to the Crowders, similar to the Sneakos, and similar to the Tates. No matter how much he tries to tell you, he debates these people because he isn't like them. Regardless of what he tells himself, listen to what he's telling you. He is telling you every day in those streams exactly who he is. Believe him. The one last piece that he told me that I think really is what garners a lot of empathy is that he is traumatized and that he has suffered in his life. And that if you know anything about his childhood that's public, you know that this boy was traumatized.
If you're making this much money, I don't want to live like right here, right? I like to live like this. My parents lived right at the edge of their income for their whole fucking lives. But I would go and visit my grandma every weekend. My grandma, I didn't know at the time what's like normal or not, but my grandma is like really fucking weird, where she would like buy dogs and then of like the 8 years that I spent a lot of time with her, she must have had like 20.
I mean that she just lost dogs. This is for educational purposes. Just want to let you know, watching this. Educational purposes.
Dogs. I would guess like anywhere from 15 to 20 dogs. But what she would do is she would buy a dog and then she would keep it for like 3 or 4 months. And then like it would do something wrong. Like it would pee in the house or it would chew up some furniture, but like she never trained him or anything. And she would get mad and then she would to the vet and they would end up putting it down. Here's a really weird thing that happened to me. One of the weirdest things when I was living with my grandma, when I was 17. So we had a little, I don't even remember what kind of dog. So this dog got in trouble a ton. This little dog pissed and unbelievable.
Okay. All right. We get the point. He has some trauma involving animals. I'm not trying to not only hear, it's just, nigga, we know what he about to say and I don't feel comfortable playing that all over my damn YouTube channel. There you go. Let me be blunt. But not saying I don't want to hear the trauma. I think the trauma that he has is for a therapist, actually. I think that's who he needs to go talk to.
That in the bedroom was just hers.
And my heart goes out to child Destiny. But you're no longer a child. You're in your mid-30s and you want to be considered respectable. Here's your opportunity to be. Will you take it? I don't know. I wish nothing but the best for him in terms of his mental health. I hope he sees. Go
to like a doctor, nigga. Right? I don't feel comfortable. I'm not a doctor. Right? Sometimes people be trying to hit me up and get on that. Nah, we don't got to talk about that. talk to a doctor or something, nigga. Yeah, I don't feel comfortable sitting here listening to his childhood trauma. I'm gonna be honest with you.
He's the right kind of therapist to help him. I hope he stops dating and interacting and abusing people in the way that he does. I hope that he protects his community moving forward. And I hope the people in his life are able to hold him accountable in ways that I don't think they have, since he hasn't come out and admitted any of the fault that he's made. Remember that when his divorce was happening, he let the narrative be spun that it came out of nowhere, that she cheated and left him. Even Ray William Johnson covered this story, claiming that that's all that occurred without ever taking into consideration anything that came before that. In some ways, if you look at the story in a different way, it was a woman in an abusive relationship who finally was able to be free. And that's all so true. Regardless of how messy any of these people are, they are people. And I believe in redemption. And I hope they all go on a path to seek that peace and redemption within their own values. I plan to move forward in 2025, making better and healthier connections. I'm going to be more diligent about who I collab with. I'm trying
yeah, all right. We get the point. Destiny was out here living foul. I don't want to even talk about the trauma because people might try to use that as an excuse for him doing disgusting things. Nigga, that's a different discussion that you probably should have with a therapist, preferably. But yeah, nigga, I'm not here for that right now. Just is what it is. But overall, I think Destiny is foul. I think he is crazy. He be doing some ish, but that's just my opinion. Tell me what yours is down in the comment section. Yee.